Hello Habibis, welcome back to my channel. Welcome. It's 2020 right now, and oh my god, this was long overdue, this particular video, but you know, I am doing it as soon as I wanted to. Today it's going to be about makeup. After this it's going to be about eyeliners, colored pencils and eye pencils, kohl I'm talking about, and then right after that it's going to be hair and body. Alright, so that way we are over and done with. Before I get that rolling, the lipstick I'm wearing is Lisa Eldridge Velvet Muse, one of my favorite. I have mentioned and swatched it in the best lipstick of 2019, so just hit the link right above me. Okay, so this is in no random order. There's a lot of affordable as well as high-end things. My most used makeup, and let's be honest, 2019, I think, at least for me, I can speak for myself, wasn't the year of makeup, it was the year of skincare. Now, most of the brands are available out here through Instagram sites, which shall be mentioned in the info bar, as well as on Sephora and NYKAA, you know, the usual. So let's get cracking with this because we have a lot to process. The first one I'm talking about is the E.L.F. This is the mix to match adjuster. I've got the yellow one and I've got the bronze one. I have spoken about this before, you guys. This is such a one of those must-have kind of a makeup item that every girl should, you know, reach out for. It's very affordable, and what it does is if you have any foundation that needs a little more yellow tone to it, or you have a foundation that needs to be darkened, these adjuster drops from E.L.F., it's only around 4 pounds or something, 4 to 5 pounds a piece, and you just, you know, dilute it with your foundation. You just put a few drops to your foundation and it just matches your skin perfectly, and I think it's such a brilliant idea. There are few brands that have actually done the same thing, but from whatever I have tried, E.L.F. is the one that quality wise it's much better. Now 2019 for me was the year of concealers, not foundations. I think I went really very light with my makeup. It was not about that full coverage makeup. There's some concealers that have really made it to the list, and one is the Magic Away concealer from Charlotte Tilbury, which is fantastic. I have mentioned it in my top concealer video as well. It's just amazing, you guys. It's got this ingredient that, you know, kind of like stretches that concealer over your scars or over your marks, and that one really conceals beautifully. If you get your shade matched to it, it's just a wonderful concealer. Absolutely fell in love with it, and it's really expensive, I know, but if you're looking out for some really good quality luxury concealer, that's the one you should reach out for. The second high-end concealer that I really loved is the Too Faced Born This Way. This is the multi-use sculpting concealer, and I'm in the shade warm beige, and oh my god, this one is just beautiful. This bottle is going to last you for a very long time because the coverage is nice and thick. It's a full coverage concealer, but it blends like a dream and it covers everything that is on your face. The third one is from NYX Cosmetics, and the two that made it from NYX is the Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. I've done a whole review on that Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation as well as the concealer. Two beautiful products that has really won my heart last year. Beautiful coverage, great shade variety. It's just wonderful. And as well as the NYX HD, I have mentioned this time again, this seems to be everyone's favorite. It's again a beautiful concealer, really blends well. This is creamier, I think, than the Can't Stop Won't Stop. For me, if I had a preference, I would go for the HD more than the Can't Stop Won't Stop. But saying that, both of the concealers are just amazing. Now, this year, PAC really won when it comes to base makeup. And when it comes to concealers, those guys really killed the game last year. So the two that made it to the list is the PAC Spotlight. Again, all of these, whatever I'm showing you right now, has individual reviews. But this Spotlight concealer is just beautiful. It's a full coverage concealer, you guys. It blends so well, okay, because it's very lightweight for a full coverage concealer. They have nailed it. I'm talking about a full coverage concealer from India. If you're looking out for one product, this is the one. And the last one was the Take Cover Concealer, which was their latest launch, I think just 2 months old. Again, I've done a whole review. I have shown you the entire shade swatch of it. They also launched color correctors with it. This is an everyday concealer, like a medium coverage one. It's buildable to a full coverage. Again, super light, super blendable, really lovely. For someone who doesn't like a full coverage thing and is looking out for a lightweight formula that blends and won't cake up under the skin and is great for dry skin, this is the one. Lovely. PAC just nailed it. And another concealer that made it to the 2019 list is the E.L.F Cosmetics Camo Concealer. Oh my lord, it's such a beautiful concealer. It reminds me so much of the PAC one, the Spotlight. It's so full coverage, you guys. It covers everything, but at the same time, it's super light, it's super blendable. It just sits creamy without drying up your skin. They nailed it with that concealer. It's just incredibly beautiful. In 2019, foundation wasn't the, it just didn't appeal to me as much as concealers. Okay, that's why I was investing a lot more on concealers. But the foundation that I repeated a lot in last year, one is the PAC HD Liquid Foundation. I'm in the shade 4.1. Like I said, PAC can never go wrong when it comes to base makeup. It's such a lovely underrated foundation. If you have extremely oily skin, then maybe you won't enjoy this, but normal combination, even dry skin with the right, like an oil primer, can work with this. You've got a huge shade variety range in comparison to the other Indian brands, and there's no cakiness to this. It feels like second skin. It's such a lovely foundation. I thoroughly enjoyed this. The other one, surprise, comes from NYKAA Skin Shield. This is the anti-pollution foundation. Again, done a whole review on this, on everything. Like I said, beautiful foundation from NYKAA. They did pretty decently in increasing the shade range. They can do better, but this is again that everyday oil control, deep hydrating kind of a foundation that is great for all skin types. It also protects you from the pollution thing, which I don't know about that claim, but it's just a lovely foundation. Again, sits really well. It's very light on the skin, and I feel that they have the potential to make some really good foundations. Just the shade needs to increase, and this is a beautiful one. The next one that made it to the list is a foundation stick, and I'm not generally a fan of foundation sticks. I just feel that it has a tendency of being too cakey on the skin. Some can be a little too dry. No Filter stick from ColourPop. Reviewed it again, swatched it. Go check that video, my ColourPop video. It is such a lovely foundation stick. It's buildable again. It just sits like second skin, okay, once you blend it. There is nothing that emphasizes the dryness on your skin. There's a whole shade variety for warm tones, neutral tones, cool tones. That's the beauty of it, and I've been really enjoying this, and it's just a no-nonsense thing. Just roll up, very travel friendly. Highly recommend this. And the last one is Bare Minerals. This is the original foundation powder, something that I have used for years, you guys, since I discovered this in London. This is in the shade Golden Medium 14, and what basically it is, it's a powder foundation, something that I don't reach out for usually unless it is from Bare Minerals. They came out, this is the OG of powder foundation. It's like a mineral powder, very good for the skin at the same time. If you have problematic skin, you're looking out for something that is a light coverage, the Bare Minerals original one is the one for you. Primers are not something that I used a lot whole of last year, so I'm going to be talking about Packbow Primer. Starting off with this, PAC again nailed it with their primer over here. Beautiful primer. It's got that nice light silicone feel, but it doesn't clog your pores, but at the same time it has a tendency of kind of like minimizing or cheating it, basically making it look a little more smaller than usual. It makes the makeup really sit well. It just controls that oil production that is happening on the skin. It's lovely. The second one is the Matte and Blur Primer. This is the All Star from ColourPop. Again, did the review on this. Super impressed. It's got that milky consistency and it hydrates the skin at the same time, but it also kind of like, I can see that blurring effect that it has on the skin. Definitely can see that. Makeup sits beautifully. It just controls that oil production at the same time, and it's not too drying. It hydrates, okay? It's just a beautiful, affordable primer. The next one is the Pore Filler from NYX Cosmetics. Beautiful primer. Again, I apply that on my T-zone wherever there's a problem area and I want the makeup to sit really well, and it makes, again, the makeup sit really well. It controls that oil production that is happening on the skin. I think, you know, that's what makes the makeup sit really well. So this is a primer from NYX, which I have totally enjoyed. And we have the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, which is very similar to the All Star, you know, the blur primer over here, but this is more liquidy, and that's got, it's like a stick kind of a primer that works really well on the skin. You can see that blurring effect again with that blur stick. It is their bestseller from Milk Makeup. It has a tendency of just camouflaging that, you know, open pores and giving you that really good skin kind of an effect. It's a beautiful, you know, blurring stick. The Flower Supernova Celestial, this is the Skin Elixir. This is more like a facial oil, okay, but it acts beautifully like a primer as well. It has got so many shimmery particles to it that you feel that you're going to put a lot of glitter to the face. But for some strange reason, guys, the moment it hits the skin, there is no shimmer, there's no glitter. It's just a beautiful oil that smells of lavender that just sits so well on the skin. It hydrates your skin so well. If you have really dehydrated skin, this is the one that you should reach out for from Flower Beauty. It is their bestseller. Every time it is sold out, and I can see why. The next one is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Whole of 2019 I was promoting it. It's a beautiful product, you guys. Absolutely worth the money. It gives you a stunning glow to the skin. It hydrates the skin at the same time. You can wear it before applying your foundation like a primer. You can mix it with your foundation, or you can apply it like a highlighter, and it gives you this sun-kissed beautiful glow. Okay, it just grabs onto that makeup beautifully. It's a fantastic product from Charlotte Tilbury. If there is a top 4 from Charlotte Tilbury, this is definitely in the top 4 list. A must-have for sure. Alright, so now let's talk about some setting powders, loose powders that caught my attention last year. The first one I'm starting off is Khuda Beauty. This is the Easy Bake Powder. The only thing I don't like about this powder, well, all of Khuda Beauty products, is this overwhelming scent, okay, the fragrance that is infused in it. It is kind of expensive, but if you like baking or you like to just set your powder, if you like loose powder instead of a compact powder, then this is just wonderful. I just love the way how my makeup sits on the skin every time I apply this. I don't bake as much, but I set my makeup with this loose powder, and it just sits really well. It doesn't move, it's not too cakey, there is no flashback, nothing. It's a very finely milled powder, and I love the packaging that it's got that little net like a sieve. It makes the powder even more refined, okay, and it sits really well. Beautiful concept. The other powder that has really caught my attention in whole of 2019 is the NYKAA Cosmetics. Okay, this is the compact powder. You guys know that the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Compact Powder is one of the best compact powder, setting powder that the makeup industry has seen. This is the smoothing press powder, okay, and this is the dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury one. This compact powder, you guys, it kind of looks very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury one. This again just minimizes the pores. It makes the makeup sit really well. It's fabulous as a compact powder if you just want to touch up, or if you want to bake. You know, it's a fabulous setting powder. They have nailed it, and even if you see the ingredient list, you will see that there's a lot of similarity in it. It's a beautiful compact powder. The next one that made it to the list is the No Filter Setting Powder from COLOURPOP. It is such a lovely setting powder, you guys. I got the translucent one because I've already got, you know, that yellow powder from Khuda Beauty. This one again sets the makeup really well. You can bake with it. It doesn't dry up your skin even if you're baking with this. That's the beauty of this. In fact, Khuda Beauty's one kind of like can dry up your under eye area. This one, the no filter one, doesn't do that. And the last one, I know you guys are going to like raise your eyebrows on this, but I have really enjoyed the Lakme 925 Prime and Matte Powder Foundation. It says it's a powder, like a foundation powder, but no, it's not. It's like a proper compact powder. It's really nice. It surprised me how much I enjoyed this. Again, it sets my makeup really well. It mattifies my face really well. It's just a beautiful compact powder. Thoroughly enjoyed it last year. Again, I think I'm going to carry forward this particular one even in this year because I'm very impressed with this. But I know there's a lot of people, a lot of you that love a very good blush, okay? So I want to show you some of my favorites that made it to the list last year. The first one I'm introducing you guys to is the Electro Blush. Mentioned this so many times before, from NYX Cosmetics. Look at that shocking fuchsia pink kind of a color. It is highly pigmented. With these blushes from NYX Cosmetics, a little goes a long way. When applied to the skin and when blended well, it just gives you that right hint of color for a brown skin girl. Okay, second one is Ruby's Organic. This is the cream blush in the color tan, a beautiful everyday nude tan. It's almost got that terracotta shade to it. It's just a fantastic cream blush. Again, you can apply this as your lipstick, that's what I do, but it sits really well without making your skin super oily, and it is long lasting. It's Ybp Color Cream. Okay, this is in the shade Witch. A little goes a long way, you guys. It's a beautiful color, very similar to the tan from Ruby's Organic, but this is a lot more pigmented. Again, it's not going to disappear. It doesn't make your face extra oily. It's a multi-purpose product. You can apply this on your eyelids, you can apply this on your cheeks and on your lips as well. It's infused with vitamin E, and it's just a lovely blush to have. The next one is the Milk Makeup blush stick, which is their bestseller. This particular shade is their bestseller. It's called Work. It's again a muted pink, almost like a rosy pink, very muted actually, and it's perfect to wear it on your lips as your eyeshadow base and on your cheeks, and it's easy to travel with because it's like a stick thing. You just apply this on your cheek, blends really well, gives you that right flush of color. It's just a beautiful blush to work with. Alright, so let's talk about the next one, and that is the Revolution Pro 4K Peach Palette. You guys have seen me use this so many times in all my tutorials. I have used this palette a lot because it's got that peach tones, that pink tones, and this one has got that shimmery peachy tone that works very well as a highlighter. Extremely pigmented. Revolution Pro is the sister company of Makeup Revolution that gives you better quality makeup than Makeup Revolution, to be honest, and it's a fantastic palette to have. If you can get your hands on this, grab it, stock it up. And the last one to make it to the list is the Minah Cosmetic 105 blush, another beautiful tan terracotta nudie blush that really is supremely pigmented, blends beautifully on the skin without making it look patchy. It doesn't move. It's one of their best selling shade from Minah Cosmetics. I think this is also available at NYKAA if I'm not wrong, but definitely a must-have for a brown skin girl. The next blush is by Kathleen Light's collaboration with ColourPop, and this particular one, it is such a nude blush. Okay, it is like that natural, you know, when you have exercised and you get that natural flush of color on your cheeks. This is the kind of color that I've been searching for, and my search is over because this blush, oh my god, if you want to see how it looks, you can check out that ColourPop video. It's such a beautiful blush. Alrighty then, let's talk about some bronzing powders that made it to the list. The first one is the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. Oh my lord, this is such a beautiful bronzer. Please get this. It smells divine. It smells of coconut and chocolate. It smells lovely. This is what it looks like. The shade is deep bronzer. It sits really well on the face, giving you that right amount of that sun-kissed tan, like as with that holiday tan, and at the same time it just doesn't move. It's very light. No harshness to the face. A beautiful bronzer, a must-have bronzer. And the second one is Khuda Beauty Tanto, and let me tell you, Khuda Beauty had a very good 2019. There were a lot more hits than miss. Beautiful cream to powder finish. It goes on like a cream, but while you're blending it, it goes into a really nice powder matte. It sits really well. Extremely pigmented. Again, you have to be very careful with it, because if you go a little overboard, it has a tendency of looking a little too muddy on the skin, because either you can give yourself a nice chisel look with it, or you can give that, you know, nice sun-kissed bronze to it. So it's all about the usage of that product. Okay, it's extremely pigmented. The last one is the Bahama Mama. Okay, this is from Balm Cosmetics, their bestseller, an oldie but a goodie, but oh boy, what a goodie. Alright, this is just amazing. Again, beautifully it blends on the skin. It sits really well. You know, if you want even a proper contouring to give you that chisel look, this will give you that. Or if you want that really nice warm bronzy sun-kissed look to it, this will give you that as well. well. Okay, so let's talk highlighters right now. Wasn't a big fan of highlighters in 2019. I have done the best highlighter video if you want to see some of my favorites, but right now I just want to show you a few that I actually liked last year. The first one is the PAC Baked Highlighter. This is 03, a lovely champagne gold kind of a highlighter. Oh, there's no shimmer to it, you guys. It just gives you a beautiful glow to the skin. If you have textured skin especially, this is the kind of highlighter, powder highlighter that will really sit well on the skin without emphasizing that texture or that acne. It's just a wonderful, wonderful highlighter. The second one is the On My Mind Super Shock highlighter from ColourPop. Okay, again, when it comes to ColourPop highlighters, they really nail it. Look at that. Look at that beauty. It is so, so pretty. Look at that beauty. It's for someone that really likes that subtle highlight. It gives that champagne kind of a color to it with little pink tones peeping through. Beautiful for deeper skin tone as well as brown. I'm talking about duskier skin tones. The next one is the Shreya Jain YBP. This is the Goddess highlighter. I have mentioned this whole of last year. It's heavily pigmented. A little goes a long way. It's going to last you for a very long time. It gives you a healthy, beautiful glow on the skin, like you've been drinking, you know, 10 glasses of water. It's just fantastic. And the next one is the Golden Rose. This is the Liquid Glow Highlighter Metals. Oh my god, this is heavy. Can contact NASA. It is that heavy on the skin, okay? So if you like a really strong liquid highlighter, this is the kind of liquid highlighter that you should reach out for. It's got that beautiful gold champagne tones to it. Fantastic for deeper skin tones. I highly, highly recommend this. And the last one is the Beauty Light Wand from Charlotte Tilbury. I know it's a high-end one, but again, the way it blends on the skin, it gives you that dewy finish without any shimmer. I've got the shade Spotlight, and now she's introduced some for deeper skin tones, like she's got that gold tone, pink tone. Just grab it, you guys. It's a beautiful one that is so travel friendly. Comes in a tube like this, and it's got that sponge applicator. You take a little out, you can just dab it with the sponge or with your fingers, and it gives you a healthy skin kind of a finish. Now, when it comes to eyebrows, I did not experiment with too many products last year. I stuck to some of my favorites and only 3 of that. One is the Brow Blade from Urban Decay, which I have explained. I've done a whole video on that. That's a fabulous Urban Decay launch when it comes to giving you that bushy brows. You know, because on one side it's got that felt tip applicator, very thin, a little liquid comes out of it, and the other side has a nice waxy pencil to it so that you can draw your brows really well and then fill it up with the felt tip. It was one of my favorite launch from Urban Decay. The next one is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I have been mentioning about this product for the last 2 years, and I don't think I'm ready to let it go. It's got that spoolie on one end, a pencil on the other, but the pencil is so nice, thin and waxy. It's waxy enough to make it last for a very long time, but you can draw it thin, you can draw it thick, however you like it. You can even, you know, imitate those hair strokes with it. Beautiful eyebrow pencil. Another NYX product that I have really enjoyed to set my eyebrows is the Control Freak Brow Gel, which is this transparent one. Sets the eyebrows really well, you guys. It's got that nice consistency to it without making it really gloopy on this, you know, on your eyebrows. And once it sets your eyebrows, you can give that feather kind of strokes to it. Once it sets, it's not going to budge at all. And the last one in the eyebrow section that made it to the list, surprise, is the Take a Brow from NYKAA. Now, this is a strange product to begin with. You really need to get used to it before you can start enjoying this one, alright? It has that powder, this small little thin wand, and it's got that powder finish to it, but it doesn't move on the eyebrows. This is not something that you can draw a thick eyebrow with it like a pencil. But if you have any gaps, this will definitely fill that up. I wish it was a little bigger, but I think NYKAA has kind of a winner out here. Okay, so we're nearly finishing off this video. So let's move on to eyeshadows right now. Again, just like highlighters, eyeshadows, well, if you had seen my top 5 things not to buy, I did mention about eyeshadow palettes, okay? But there are a few that stood out for me last year, and I'm just going to talk about it, okay? I'm going to talk about liquid eyeshadows first, and the first liquid eyeshadows that I will ask you guys to go and pick up if you're looking out for a high-end liquid eyeshadow, and that is the Stila one, okay? Stila liquid shadows in general. It's amazing, it's worth the money. I know there are loads of dupes for it, but no one has come close to the Stila ones, okay? It gives you this high shine, high glitter without, you know, packing it on, without that glitter glue and applying those, you know, loose pigments. It's just a beautiful thing to invest in. The second one that has come closer to the Stila Cosmetics is Pixie Beauty. Now it's available at Sephora India. Another one that has kind of nailed it when it comes to the formula, you know, because if you're looking out for a great dupe, then I would say this is a fabulous dupe of it. This is called Starry Night. It's a beautiful black with specks of gold and glitter. Oh, look at that shine to it. It is such a pretty you know, liquid eyeshadows. Okay, now let's talk about palettes that really, you know, caught my attention. You guys must have seen this palette used a lot in so many of my videos. In my tutorials on Instagram, I have mentioned about this. This is the Focallure Endless Possibility palette, but look at the color variety of it. Okay, this is that one eyeshadow palette that you just need. It's supremely pigmented, blends like butter, very affordable. Focallure is now available at online makeup store. I have linked all of that down, you know, in the info bar. It's an Indian Insta store, as well as they ship worldwide. And the next one that made it to the list, you guys have heard me mention this a lot of times. This is the Revolution Soph X palette. It is an affordable, beginner-friendly palette. Again, it's got the right amount of warm, cool tones to it. It's got the right amount of colors that you can play around with, everyday shades you can play around with. Very pigmented, also blends beautifully on the eyelids. This is the one that you should reach out for. Again, in my top eyeshadow palettes, I have mentioned this. The next one that made it to the list, okay, is from PAC Cosmetics. This is the Ultimate Shadow Box, okay, and this reminds me so much of the Khuda Beauty mini palette, but it is beautifully done. Pigmentation, the shimmers, you know, the glitter that comes out of it is just a fabulous thing. Look at this. This is that everyday palette, that smoky palette that you can reach out for. You can use this two colors for an everyday use, or if you want to take it from day to night, you can apply the black one and then you can add some specks of silver or gold. My camera is doing no justice to how pretty the eyeshadows are, so definitely worth the money. Next one is K Beauty, Katrina Kaif's. This is the eyeshadow stick. This is the matte one. The shade that I'm showing you is 02 Splendid, and I love these matte eyeshadow sticks. They remind me so much of the Charlotte Tilbury one. But I have to say that the matte ones really blend well with your fingers, with your brush. It's such a lovely eyeshadow stick. I highly recommend this from you know, the Katrina Kaif makeup line. I have enjoyed this. Very easy to travel with because, you know, it comes in a pencil, obviously like a crayon format. The shimmer one, just one or two stood out for me, the green and the blue. Everything else gives you that shimmery effect, but it kind of like fades away after a couple of hours. But this one really stays. And the last one to catch my attention, and like I told you, Khuda has had a very good year last year. And of all the eyeshadow palettes, I absolutely adore the remastered palette. But when it comes to new launches, the one that really caught my heart is the new nude palette. This was Khuda's version of a nude palette. It's got a lot of pink tones. It's like a pastel heaven, okay, over here, and it's got a lot of shimmers to it. But let me tell you, this palette is absolutely a delight to work with. Because of its pigmentation, its blendability, the shimmers are so soft and it sits so well on the eyelids. You can use it with your fingers, you can use it with a sponge applicator brush. Beautiful eyeshadow palette. Highly recommend this if you are a Khuda fan. I know it's expensive, but if it's on a sale, just go and grab it. Let's finish this video with some setting sprays, and again, the 4 setting sprays that really caught my attention last year was the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. I've told you time and again, one of the best setting sprays that is out there. Once you try it, you're going to be hooked onto it. If you can get your hands on the Morphe one, please do. It's so beautiful. There's not much fragrance infused. It's such a fine mist that comes out of it, makes your makeup stay for a very long time. And just like the Morphe one, PAC really nailed it in producing a dupe of the Morphe Continuous Setting, and that is the Micro Finish Makeup Fixer. A delight to work with. The only problem I have with it is that fragrance in it. Again, the mist is so fine, okay, it sits really well on the face. It doesn't give you that gloop, that blob that many makeup setting sprays have, okay. Like I'm just going to show you one, but it actually really works, and this makes the makeup last for a very long time, okay. The next one, which I said kind of like gives you a nice gloop to the face, and that is the All Star Face Setting Spray. But what I like about this is it mattifies, it gives you a matte finish, at the same time it blurs. So it's a matte plus blur kind of a setting spray, but it's a lovely setting spray. I highly recommend this and extremely affordable as well. And the last one, it's kind of controversial. It's from Khuda Beauty because I know many who did not like this because of the strong scent. I'm one of them who hates the scent to it. I'm not applying this because of my treatment. That is why I'm not applying this, because it's got a lot of fragrance infused. But this is hairspray for your face, you guys. Your makeup will not budge. Wherever you are, whatever country, humid, whatever it is, this will make your makeup last for a very, very long time. The fragrance is what really gets me because it can give you a migraine. But why this has come to the list is because your makeup will not budge. So if you are a makeup artist, or if you have a wedding to attend, or you're a bride-to-be, this is the kind of setting spray that you should reach out for, minus the headache that it might give you or the breakout it will give you afterwards, okay? So guys, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Are you looking forward to the next, or are you done with the best of series? And I shall see you in my next, and that will be, like I said, eye pencils and then hair, lip care and body care. Alright, bye for now.